Hi, guys. This is Yummy Wilfred, the host of It Was Never Personal with Yummy Wilfred. I want to try something new before we continue. Let me say it. It was never personal. I did it, yes. So I did that. I think it's a very good, a very nice way of really starting it, just saying that in a way of that sort. So, welcome to It Was Never Personal, the seventh episode, in which we'll talk about the power of gratitude. Part one being appreciate this moment. Yes. So, it was never personal, it was always love, laughter, music, dance, colors, role playing, balance, awareness, authenticity, not taking the ego too seriously, life too seriously. It is all about realizing that this is a dream, an illusion that you and I get to co create with a power that is higher than us. Therefore, it was never personal. Tune in to get inspired, motivated, and mostly importantly, find ways to love yourself and do so with laughter and joy. Like I said, it was never personal. Or it was never personal. Yes, it was never personal indeed. So, what is gratitude? What is gratitude? Gratitude is just the act of being appreciative. Yes, I'll say appreciative because it has that kind of like oomph to it when I say it like that. It makes me feel exotic, but it is just an act of appreciating the moment. And which moment are we talking about? We are talking about this moment, which is the only moment that will ever be there because there's only this time right now. I cannot be appreciative of something that happened in the past or something that will happen in the future because like I always say, the past has already happened, and it's if anything, the past is memory right now. It's something that lives in my mind, and the future is something which also lives in my mind because it's just an imagination. But is really the future really right now here? No, we cannot talk. I do not have anything really that can manipulate, or rather let me say, I cannot really talk about anything in the future. Like, it doesn't exist, just as the past doesn't really exist, but they only exist in the mind. But really there's only ever this moment, because when I think of the past, I think of the past right now. When I think of the future, or I imagine something in the future, I imagine it right now. So that is why I'm saying gratitude is really being appreciative of this moment, which is right now. Thank you. So it's not it's really all about that. And I used to think that our gratitude was really being thankful, or just saying thank you to things. When you're grateful for someone, actually, when you're at a restaurant and a waitress gives you food or a cup of tea, and then you say thank you so much, I'm very grateful for this moment. Yeah, that's really it. But it really goes much more deeper than that. Being grateful is really it's much more than saying, oh, thank you. It's much more of saying, I really do appreciate this. It has a lot to do with what you're doing. Oh, let me say this. It has less to do with what you're doing, but more to do with the state of your consciousness. Like, are you really present? Because for you to appreciate this moment, or appreciate anything which is really occurring in this moment, you have to be present. You have to be here. You have to be really present right here, aware of it. So that is what I'm saying. It's not really an act of saying thank you. Yes, you can say thank you. It's a very good thing to do, but it has to do with, are you really present? Can you hear yourself and be aware of the other person who you're telling thank you? Are you aware of the room you're in that is being present? Can you be aware of yourself, of your inner body as you're receiving that cup of tea which you are grateful for? You know, are you mindful of how that person you are interacting with is really feeling? Can you read through their emotions, their body, their body language is, yeah, can you really tell much more to do with it? And you will only be able to really look at the situation, look at people, look at interactions, look at life with the X-ray eyes if you are present, because presence means that you are aware And you can only be aware of something else if, first of all, you are aware of yourself. You see, so that is actually being grateful, being present over that moment and just appreciating it. Yes. But the thing is that we are really present in this moment. And I know it. I know it because, um, how do I say it? I don't want to really seem in any way like, yeah, comparative, but we are really present in this moment because, for example, when you get into a party, people don't really want to feel the hype of the party for what the party is, which is a social community of people getting to interact and really have fun and dance and do whatever. But people rather want to get there, and then after 5 minutes, what do? They rather get so intoxicated, so we really get to a party, and then now parties have become there's different have been now have been now tainted with this image of you get to a party, then you have to sniff on something, you have to drink on something, you have to be so detached from the moment, which is actually a group of people getting here to be have fun and do stuff of that sort. I'm not saying let's not get to parties and drink. I'm saying let's drink, but let's not drink to to the level where we really detach from the moment, where we are no longer able to read the emotions we feel to a moment or to a level at which we can no longer really interact, and authentically feel each other, because if we are so intoxicated, we are so um high on this alcohol or drugs or whatever, then we are really getting to see each other through the veil of whatever that we are under, the influence of what we are under. Yes. So again, we are really present. Another example that I can give is when people are at a music festival, rather than just feeling the experience for what it is, rather than just being there and experiencing it, looking at the artist perform, people are running into the phones, to 10 hours or maybe just more than more than half of the hours they spent there, they were really on their phones taking pictures, taking videos, and they never really felt it. They were never in the moment. I feel like right now, if there's anything, if I want to plan a party or stuff of that sort, I feel like phones will come, but after 5 minutes, we have to put them in a law in a cupboard because people are spending way too much phone onto their phones. We are not really present. We are not appreciative of this moment. We will never be grateful for it. It's like, okay, I went to the party, and what do I have? What do I have that says I really went to this music festival? Oh, this picture, and this picture is for the Insta, and this Insta is for that. So we are not really grateful. We never really felt it for what it is. We were never really present over there. Yes. And the same thing goes for like having a dinner, or you're at a restaurant and you take pictures of your food. I mean, it's so crazy how we've really evolves, and norm as a very we see this as a normal way of doing things, but I feel like both I think but I feel like all of us really know that, okay, this is really sick, this is really not cool, this is not this is not life, because I mean, way before you are having your food, you take out your phones, you take pictures, you pose, and then you do it for the TikToks and stuff of that sort, which is not bad. This is the thing. That is not bad. It's fine. But it's so tainted. Like the level at which we are doing it, it's so to me it's very shocking, it's very alarming, it's frightening because I'm like, where are we going as a society, as a collective? What are we doing? Because we are not present, we are not even grateful for the food, but rather the food arrives, you take a picture, and then what you're doing is, I'll be grateful for the food if only the food gets to be liked or to be wowed, or somebody says, oh, where did you have it? You were not even eating the food, you know just another case can be when you're eating food and then you start talking about a lot of stuff. You're not even really there. You're not even there. I think if anything I liked about table manners was, okay, let's not talk. no food, no phones at the table for sure. Let's not talk with our food in the mouth and stuff. Let's not talk while we're eating. I think it's a very good thing because at the end of the day, you are trying to really be present, to really get the food in, to really feel the flavors, the seasonings, and everything, the textures of the food, the colors. If anything, let's comment about the food. Let's not talk about somebody who's really sitting like next to the table of ours. Let's not talk about things that are really not here, because if we are doing so, we are escaping this moment. You know, you've been only eating one spoon of rice because that's all that you were aware of, but you never really ate the rice. You never felt it. You were not grateful for it. Yes, even though you're like, oh, thank you. Before the food came, you prayed and you're like, oh, thank you. We're so grateful. But we are not really grateful for the food because guess what? The food came here, and instead of paying attention and really being present while eating the food, we are rather talking about something else. We deviate our mind's attention or concentration is really on something else, and that's not being grateful. Even right now, maybe some of you are listening to this podcast, and you know you have minimized the screens, and you're receiving notifications from somewhere else, maybe WhatsApp, Facebook, TikTok, and you are not present. You are not grateful for this moment. You're not appreciating it. Why? Because you are not accepting what it is. You're really like looking for the next moment, which is to come. And if anything, that moment, you are not really actually waiting for life to bring that moment, but you're actually trying to really direct life for what that moment has to be, because you're like, okay, then I'll be grateful, then I'll be happy, you know? Yes. So it's like, can we really just tone it down, take life as it is? Let's not make any moment a means to an end, whereby you do one thing because you want to get it done and move on to the other thing. But that is actually what we are doing. You're listening to this maybe and you're still getting, it's like, can we just calm down and be present in this moment? Yes, because that is what gratitude is. That is the power of gratitude, which is appreciating this moment as it is actually. Yeah, because only after you appreciating it, which is also accepting the moment, then you can change it. Yeah, but not every moment can be changed. So, gratitude also has to do with accepting the simple abundance in the little things that we have in life. You know, there are a lot of things that we have around over here. There's clean water, there's clean air. There's you have a house which you're living under, and some of you may be so blessed to not even pay rent. You know, you have a phone which is working. Oh my God, you're not using hearing aids. You are breathing air with yourself without an aid of a machine. You have food. You know, you can wake up and sleep. You can wake up. You woke up actually, yeah. You woke up, but you can go back to sleep. Like there's a lot of things that are really that we can be so grateful for, but we are really missing them because, like I said, we are not present, we are not aware, we are not really in this moment. Rather, we are so focused on the future, and if you are not focused on the future, we are thinking of the past. That is why depression is so the rates of depression are so alarming right now, because people are so dwelled onto the past, and anxiety and all those stuffs. Anxiety has to do with somebody really actually thinking about the future. If anything, we are afraid, we are so anxious because we are like, okay, what is next, what is to come next? Okay, I don't really feel, I'm not content with this present moment. I don't want this. But okay, you are not saying this consciously, but this is actually what you're saying unconsciously. This is the signs that you're giving out to life. I really want to. I have to really get out of this place. Uh, but have you ever felt the place? Have you really seen the place? Are you appreciative of it? You know, are you thankful that you have a phone and the phone is working? Are you appreciative of the Are you appreciative of the interaction you have with your family members? You know, are you there? Are you feeling it really, really? I remember yesterday when I was with my mommy, we went to the mall to get food, and we were really laughing. We were talking, we were laughing, and then yeah, along the way, and I was really feeling it. I felt it, but by that time, I've already written my gratitude list. But I felt it, and I was like, wow, this is always here, you know and I love it so much. I really do appreciate it. So, guys, let's just try and do that. Interact with somebody, and it's not going to be easy. Nothing is ever easy. Even trying to do nothing is not easy. But try and just be present in this moment. Take time away from your phone, take time away from the past, but just really be present over here. And if anything, be aware of your thoughts you know, and appreciate the little things that you have. You took a bath with warm water, with a hot water. You know, you have a place to stay. You have blankets. You have there's a lot of things that we have that we take for granted. We don't even see them. Why? Because we are so anxious to really step onto the future. So, if anything, this present moment, we use it as a means to an end. We actually like, okay, I'm going to get through this because I have to go there. But if anything, whatever that you want to get, wherever you want to go or whatever that you want to do in the future is going to happen right now, you know because it's not like it's going to happen like 5 years later. You would have if if yeah, the point that I'm trying to really get is whatever you're trying to do in the future, your goals would happen in the present moment. By the time you achieve them or you do not achieve them, you would know it in the present moment, which is right now. So if you're not really focused on this moment, on whatever that you have at this time, whatever that life has given you at this time, I don't think that you can be, first of all, aware of the simple abundance of whatever that you can be grateful for, which is really around you. And also, you cannot really attract anything which is which you want, which you want to be grateful for, and you cannot even realize that you are blessed or you are loved by life. You know, yeah, that was that. Now, life is different to all of us and we have challenges, but God, my God, I just realized that this other day I realized that I don't have real problems, or I don't have problems with capital P. Yes, my problems are, if anything, they're just a small letter P problems, meaning that they're not really like those big sins. Because I mean, the scenes out there, my God, the scenes out there are so they're so heavy, because I took I went to the mall at Rail Park, and I was really looking at how everybody there is really hustling out to get their bag secure. And it's so alarming, it's so shocking, because when I get there I get to really see everything, how that one is really actually doing this one is doing this. And I saw this other man in a wheelchair, and he was really he didn't even have somebody to really push him over. He didn't have help. He didn't, but and he's in a wheelchair. He doesn't have like he was even really struggling to really push himself over, but he's doing it. And I'm there in my head, and I'm like, yo, life is hard. Life is unfair. I have problems, and I'm like, Wilfred, no, we actually don't have problems, guys. I don't have I don't think that at this point of time I have something which is a problem. Oh, okay. Am I really going to talk about the possibility of me getting an FD, the possibility of me supplementing for an exam, the possibility of me not going to and you see, the thing is that it's so crazy. It's so outrageous. Like, how can I even say that the possibility of me getting an FD or supplementing for an exam is a problem when I'll be the one who's responsible for that? I have a chance. I always have a chance. I always have that responsibility to really change the script to make sure that I pass. But because every action or every cause has an effect, then for sure I have to really account for whatever that I bring out to myself, which may be a supplementation for an exam, which may be an FT. But if anything, what I'm trying to say is that the problems that I'm really thinking of myself as problems right now is actually self-created problems. Although all of the problems are self-created, but really this one's it's really there. It's really in front of me. Like, okay, you did it right now because I would have had to really have studied, but then I didn't study, and then now I'm crying, I'm lamenting, I'm so depressed because guess what? I'm going to have to really write a supplementary exam, and if anything, I'm actually crying because I'm like, what are people going to think about me? What is my mommy going to think about me? You know, I'm a failure because of. But out there, guys, life is real. Life is hard. People are waking up so early to get food. For sure. Yes, they had a cut in the pot, they had that pot in whatever they're doing right now, but I mean, somebody's really waking up very early. I know not everybody wants to wake up early. People may feel like waking up at 6 a.m. is so early. And I'm like, really? Do you know that that lady who you buy airtime from, they actually get there by 5:30? Do you know that those ladies who are actually cleaning our school premises, those ladies who really keep the whatever, I'm talking about each and every department. I believe that even in workplaces that we have people who are cleaning under the cleaning services, those people arrive very early, and they get there and they get to really prepare everything. They get to clean, and then you get there, and then you're like, huh, I just woke up. You, you're not even afraid to litter. You eat your food and you do. There's a rubbish bin. There's a trash bin next to you. You don't even take that that um that little energy to just appreciate what she had done. Take your food, and then throw the takeaway. Throw your foam pack into the trash bin. You're not even doing that. Why? Because you don't know. You don't really appreciate it. We only get to appreciate things after we get to know, okay, the struggle is real. Oh, this is really painful. Oh, this lady's really doing her job. She woke up very early. She has kids to really feed. We don't really take into account those things. And I'm telling you, I feel every time I go to rail park, I'm t- I, mm, I get so sensitive because I get to see everything, and I'm like, Wilfred, you don't have problems. You don't even have anything. I don't get to have that need or that want or that privilege or that right to even complain about how life is unfair, how everything is so bad, how this and that. I don't have, like, I don't even have that right, but I'm actually violating other people's rights, you know, because out there is crazy, guys. But in here right now in this moment, especially as young people, we don't really realize it. If anything, what I know is that young people right now actually want to grow up into being big people, or you are a 20-year-old person and then you want to act like, or you behave like you are, or you present yourself as if you're a 32-year-old. Really? Really? Oh no, you're not ready for that. I know that I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for the responsibility that comes with being older, you know? And I'm only saying so because I get to see it and I'm like, would I be able to manage that? Oh no, I'm not. So I'm really going to make sure that I'm going to really give it my all right now. I'm really going to really focus on this moment because I'm 20 years old. I have to always remember that I'm so young. I'm so young, you know? And my responsibility, my parts of responsibility to play are really okay. This little or maybe this part, and I'm going to make sure that I learn everything, I understand everything, and then I try and actually get it right, because I know that whatever that I've learned right now, I'm going to use it when I'm 21, when I'm 22, when I'm 23. and build on like that. We are not ready. I'm not ready. But again, we don't have a choice. We are going to grow. Other people, other kids are 16 years old and they're already head of the families, and they have it hard. And you are here just, you're not even appreciating that you have a parent who's taking care of you. You don't even appreciate the luxury of paying a combi to get to school. You don't even appreciate the fact that you woke up, you had time to really read, you have a space to read. Guys, this is alarming, And I I'm just aware, and when I went to River Park, Rail Park, right? Not River Walk, yes, Rail Park. When I went to Rail Park, I just realized how I've been really living under a rock. And it's not really something that I'm surprised of, but it's something that I get to really get reminded of. Like right now we close schools, so I went back home and spent time really home, watching TV, doing my things, reading books, and having fun. But I'm living under a rock. I really don't try and really. I don't even watch news. I'm not into social media. I'm not even talking to my friends. If anything, I'll talk to my friends after 2 weeks. But then, whenever I get that experience to really go out and I see life for what it is, all this craziness, all these things that I'm taking for granted, all these things that my friends are taking for granted, all these things that my parents are taking for granted, things that we people are really ungrateful for, which we take for granted, how we treat this present moment as a means to an end, how we really are not willing to really feel it and accept it and appreciate it. My heart is always my heart is always really hurt because I'm like, what are we doing? You know? And if anything, I know that I'll go back to living under a rock because I'm like, uh, it's either I join the status quo or I actually just do what I want to do, you know? So that's really that about it. I guess I'll have to really learn how to really be an introvert in an extroverted world because it's hard. It's hard to really get there and you really associate with people who are not really present at all, people who are not even grateful, and see even the parts of yourself which are really areas in your life which you're really ungrateful for, and then you're like, okay, how do I fix it? Yeah. So from the experience the experience of me having seen whatever that I see outside there, which I feel like if I had to go through, then I wouldn't even have had that courage. Okay, courage I would have had it at the end of the day, but I don't think that I like what I saw really right. Whatever that I see happening in the world makes me want to really gel into this moment. One makes me want to melt in this moment and really be present and be appreciative of it. But if anything, one thing I learned is really to give it my all. Guys, we have to give it our all. This moment, give it your all. And your all is actually just being present, being aware of it, appreciating it, not making a narrative of it, not trying to run away from it, not labeling it as something which is negative, you know? Yes, it could be worse. It could be worse. You're going through something which is very adverse, something which is painful, but you have to feel it, accept it, and give it your all. Giving it your all. I mean, like for example, I'm a student, and I have to remind myself every day that I have to give myself. Oh, I have to give my school, my academic work, my all. Other students are paying to get to school, and the government of my country is really paying me, and I'm on top of me having like quote and unquote free education. I get to really have allowance on top of it, the living allowance, and people are so ungrateful for it. It's like, okay, this is not enough, we want more and stuff of that sort, and I'm like, ugh, guys, this is not really interesting to me. This is not really what I want. This is not the part of lifestyle that I want to associate with. But like I said, being an introvert in an extroverted world, you have to really fake it sometimes because you need to say, oh, yeah, this is not a fair. But guys, x ray eyes on the situations. You are not grateful. Do you know that other kids are not really actually going to school? There is somewhere a student who's really well educated, well courageous, determined than me, who's really willing to give it their all, but because they don't have money or they're not really sponsored to go to school, they don't have the chance to do that, but they can do it much more better than me. You know, they can give it that or they can ace it, and they're not even looking for a living allowance. They're just looking to get that one sponsor. And and if that is the case, if and now because I know that I don't have time to really try and join conversations about how our living allowance is so small. Like, really? Oh no. I'm not going to do that because if I do that, it just shows how ungrateful I am for what I have right now. But it's until it will be taken away that we'll go back and say, "Oh, you remember those days?" Drr, drr. Yeah, you know. So I have to really we have to give it our all as students. I believe even the relationships you have, your mother, you have a sibling, and you are just not taking it to heart. You're not present. You wake up in the morning and you're already texting your friend of how your mom is really moody in the morning, how your dad is really up again, you know? So it's really crazy. I don't know. You know, I guess it's until you lose a parent then you feel like, huh, only if I knew back then what I knew now, what I know now, you know. So let's really give it our all, even give yourself your all. Love yourself. Get yourself informed. I cannot really stress how much it's very important for us as individuals to get um to get ourselves really educated. Read a book, buy a book, you know, watch history, learn history. Learn things that are really productive to you, your mental health, your spirituality, like really get to do something that really works for you at the end of the day. And try and clear that space for life to really get through you. Don't try and control life, but rather just create a space within you where life or your frequency can really just flow in through you. And you will see how life is really peaceful and joyous and a very grateful experience, you know. Learn to embrace the challenges that come with life, face them head on, deal with the emotions, accept them, you know, be fond of your flaws. Don't try and be somebody else, that is being grateful for who you are, that is loving yourself, you know. And another thing, an interaction with a stranger, give it your you meet someone, how you treat how you treat your boyfriend, how you treat your girlfriend, how you treat your favorite person in the world, your best friend, how you treat your mom who's your best friend. Let it be the same way that you treat a taxi man, a combi man, a stranger you get to walk into an elevator with, a stranger you get to see sitting next to you on a taxi, because if anything, I know that life always has stage directions for all of us, you know. Life is always putting the signposts out there for us to see, but because we are not present, we won't be able to capture it, you know. I don't believe that if like how Marian Williamson says in A Return to Love, every relationship has a purpose, Even an interaction with a stranger in an elevator, an interaction with that cashier at the shop, an interaction you have with your friend, like every relationship has a purpose. We have to get to see ourselves and learn to see those aspects of ourselves that we love and we don't love through another person, and you have to make sure I have to it's my responsibility to be present there and to see it and to be grateful for it and just get to meet meet the goal and just move on, you know yeah. And to try and but whatever that I try and do to really just Whatever that I try to do, well, yeah, what I try to do in order to just remind myself of being grateful, I think a gratitude, my gratitude notebook really helps. It really helps, but I'm not going to talk too much about it because I feel like it will be for part two. But if anything, let's be grateful, guys. And like I'm saying, life always have stage directions for you to really see. The thing is that the thing is that we really create whatever experience that we have, you know. But actually, again, life will always whisper to say, actually, whatever that you're trying to do, honey, is not going to work. Whatever you're going, that's a danger zone. There's a dead end over there. But if you don't get the whisper, you don't get the calm signposting, don't go there, and then you just go there, you'll get to meet the storm, with the lightnings and stuff of that sort. But if you are present, then you'll be able to really appreciate how really you are loved by God, you are loved by the universe, you are loved by life, whatever you call it, but you are loved, you know. And I always love it whenever I get to have those things that we call quote and unquote coincidences, because I know there's nothing of such coincidence. It's something that I created. Oh no, okay, I did. Like for example, right now I'm talking about gratitude, and I know that I'm going to see a lot of gratitude, maybe talks or whatever, or maybe I'm going to read a book and then I get to this chapter about gratitude and I'm like, what? Why is this going like this? Like I feel so aligned with life. And that is, if anything, that is my number one, that is the number one thing that I'm grateful for being alive, to see that I'm aligned with life, to see that I'm actually paying attention to the stage directions, to actually see that I'm doing whatever that life seeks me to do. And I can only know it because actually what I'm doing, I'm whatever that I want to do or whatever that I'm doing right now, life is really giving me the help. If I want to really go, it's like if I want to go somewhere and I don't have money, oh, maybe a stranger will just give me money and it's like, what? So I have to go. It's like a path or a way, the road is being cleared by life for me to really walk through it. But only when I'm aligned with it. And I'll be aligned with life if I'm present, if I'm paying attention. If I wake up and I make sure that I'm grateful and I'm appreciating this moment. I'm not trying to really look. I have goals. I have goals. I have those long term goals. But my primary goal is actually to pay attention to this moment because I know that whatever that I need to really get to that moment or to that goal or to really get to the future that I really think is that I think will make me peaceful or whatever is actually here. Whatever that I need is actually here. And I know that I've been reading to myself like this affirmation. All I have to do is to pay attention to what life has as an offer to me at this present moment because whatever that I need right now is actually present here at this moment. Not whatever that I think I need, you know. Yes. And like somebody said, I don't know, I forgot what was it. I think they were saying something like, oh, life doesn't give you what you ask for, but life gives you what you need. But it's only because we think we know what we need, but only from a perspective of the ego. But if you are really attuned or you're aligned with your soul, then you would know that this is right, this is fine. And this what I need is actually here, and I love that. I'm really appreciative of that. So we should be grateful, guys. Try and appreciate this moment as it is. Try and be grateful. Meet a friend. Be there present with a friend. I remember when I was telling my friend, okay, she was talking to me and she's smiling. She's like, why are you smiling? And I'm like, I'm loving it because I can see that you are present with me. You are paying attention to it. You are giving me your all, and I'm giving you my all, and I can see that you love me, and I'm loving it. You are not on your phone. You are not paying attention somewhere. You are really present over here with me, and I'm grateful for you being grateful for me, and I love it because that's love. That's love. That's actually what we're here to do, to give and to receive the love. But that was what I had for you guys on this episode of The Power of Gratitude. Till we meet next time. And also tell me what are things that you feel like people are not really being grateful for, what you think we should be more grateful for, and anything. Yeah, comment in the yeah. Say whatever you think in the comments. Yes. And remember, it was never personal. No, it was never personal.